Okay, so I'm gonna do a very quick guide on PvP pets for Hunter. I think any spec could really use them, but I think it's mainly like BM and like survival really that use these pets. Okay. Oh freak. I'm not the best at technology, so bear with me. Okay, so a quick disclaimer. I know I made a video about this previously. So, all pets do the same amount of damage regardless of the pet you have. So, it doesn't matter if you have a Devilsaur, a Raptor, a Tiger, or a Lion, they all do the same damage. Pick something that can become useful for a variety of different scenarios. I think we talk about this later, I believe, at the last slide. So, all this information can be found on Petopia. So that's like a guides hunter to pets. Is all the pets you can have, like upcoming pets and Shadowlands and all that stuff. Lastly, these are suggestions that are from oh my gosh, from a fellow hunter to other fellow hunters. I kind of screwed that up. My bad. I was making this a little quick, so Morrowind debuff. I found this picture online. Thought it was sick looking, so I just did it. So, Grievous Wounds. Those are amazing for pretty much mainly just PvP. PvE, it has its moments where it can be useful, but there's other stuff you can use. So, Grievous Wound. Grievously wound the target, reducing the effectiveness of any healing received for 10 seconds. Great for arenas as well as battlegrounds. I mean, arenas is fine if you're like running a healer or something like that. It's just generally if you're playing like just doing like quick play on arenas where there's a chance you'll probably face like a fire mage and like a gosh dang rogue, so you probably want something tankier than a mortal wound debuff pet. But that's something if you're facing like a holy paladin or like resto shaman or druid in arenas. It's also good in battlegrounds as well because you can just like drastically reduce the healing because it can be annoying to face people that just heal, face paladin, flashlight, or holy light, whatever. So it's nice. So pets with mortal wound debuff. So we have a raptor here. That's a cunning pet. So cunning is +8 movement speed. Stops movement impairing effects for 4 seconds. That's pretty good if you're facing like a death knight and you like in arenas or like battlegrounds or something like that. They just slow you or rogues. You can just pop Master's Call. Then you can just kite them. So hyena, raptor, rodent. Those are the cunning pets. Ferocity pets. +10 leech. +30% party haste for 40 seconds. So that's your lust. Heroism. That's the buff. So that's pretty good for like PvP and PvE. So Karen Bird, Devilsaur, Ravager, Scorpid, and Wasp. And these are exactly how this is how they spell them on Petopia, so I'm doing the correct spelling, so in case if someone's trying to look for stuff. Last but not least, Tenacity. So that's +5 maximum health, 20% damage reduction received for 6 seconds. That's pretty good for, I think, in both scenarios of PvP and PvE. We have the Direhorn, Hydra, Lizard, and River Beast. That's our main. So our first pet, our pet spec family that we need to enjoy is Mortal Wound debuff. So next is Tranquilize and Dispel. Remove 1 Enrage and 1 magic effect from an enemy. Great both for PvP and PvE as well. So you're facing like paladins, shamans, warriors. It's pretty good in PvP. Even in in Freehold, which is a BFA dungeon. It can remove like enrage buffs. So for example, Freehold, I think the first couple of trash groups have what is it, a dog, and they can enrage. So what you can do is you can spirit shock, which is a dispel, tranquilize and dispel, and you can remove the enrage buff from the dog. So I'm just saying the little extra things that you know can put you between a decent hunter and a great hunter. Pets with tranquil eyes and dispel. So we have the cunning, we have the moth, spore bat, water strider, bat, ray, crane, spear beast, and stag. So there's a crane. Hee So that's our second spec. So it's the tranquilize and dispel pet. So that's pretty good. This third pet is on the fence of being alright. I think it's mainly good for like PvP. So what happens is we have a slow, so reduce movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds. Like I said, this is only good for PvP. PvE, not the best. There's other things that we can take. Pets with a slow, cunning, basilisk, bird of prey, dog, syphilid, warp stalker. Oh my gosh, Chimeria, Crocodilus, Spider, Tail Strider, and Wolf. And we have Tenacity, Blood Beast, Crab, and Worm. So they released Blood Beast, I think it was 8.1. You have to kill, I think it's Zool on normal in a raid group. And then he drops like some special ability that allows you to train these, but they're part of the Tenacity, so they have the endurance training as well as the slow. So easy game. Okay, so our wrap up is bring at least one pet spec for each with a variety of different abilities. So for example, my current layout is I run a Spear Beast, which has Dispel. That's our Tenacity pet. So it has our Dispel, Spirit Mend. We have a Raptor, which has Mortal Wound debuff. That's our Cunning pet. And we also have a Spider, which has our Slow debuff, as well as our like Lust pet. And that's our Ferocity pet. So last but not least, make sure you get a Spear Beast. There are a couple I think there's 6 that you can at least get like in the snap of a finger. It's the Pandaren porcupines, as well as the Suramar Mana Sabers. Those are like not necessarily rares like Magria and Anka and all that stuff, where you have to where you can wait like days before you actually find them. So Spear Beasts are the best pet. What I feel now, like I said, you have bonus health, you have a Spirit Met, you have Survival of the Fittest, you have a damage reduction buff, which is amazing for PvP and PvE. I mean, that's overall great around. And if anyone wants me to make a guide on how to find Spirit Beasts, let me know, because there can be a couple that can be tricky. For example, Anka and Magria, they only spawn if you complete a certain quest. Well, in Mount they spawn in Mount Hyjal, and what happens is you have to be able to go, at least I can't remember if it's up to the point of like the regrowth area or if you have to pass the regrowth. So I'll just do the regrowth area just to be safe. So, but that's it for me. Hopefully everyone enjoyed this. Bye.